So today we will discuss about the direction angles, that what are the direction angles and how we can find the directions of the angles. So this is the topic, which is direction angles. Okay, this is also in 11.3. Okay, so the angles, okay, which you can say the angles for example, angles between a non-zero vector, okay, between a non-zero vector v and the vectors. For example, you have different vectors, for example, I, okay, j and k are called the direction angles, all called the direction angles of v, and the cosine of these angles are called direction cosines, are called direction cosines. Okay, so what is mean by this one? That if you have in three-dimensional cases non-zero vector means I say a vector v, okay, and I say here 0i plus 0j plus 0k. It means this is a zero vector. Okay, so you can also write a zero vector. Okay, non-zero means any of the component, any one of the component should not equal to zero. For example, 2i plus 0j plus 0k. Okay, so only one component is non-zero. You can say 2i plus 3j plus 4k. This is also non-zero, this is also non-zero. Okay, so any component of the vector v which is not equal to zero, it's a non-zero vector. Okay, now if you draw the xy plane, this is x, this is y, this is z. In xy plane you can represent ijk. Okay, so this one is I, this one is j, this one is k. Okay, and if you draw any vector v, okay, so this vector v have some angle with an x coordinate. Okay, for example, I say this is the angle for the x coordinate, which is alpha, angle with the y coordinate, which is say which is beta. Okay, angle with the z coordinate, you can say this is the gamma. Okay, how you can find the angles? We have a different theorem. So from that theorem we can easily find the angle between the coordinate of the axis from the vector. Okay, and these vectors are I, j, k vectors. Okay, so what is the theorem? The theorem states that theorem that the direction cosines of a non-zero vector, because we can only tell the properties of non-zero vectors. For a zero vector there is nothing, there is a zero, everything is zero. Okay, so that's why we write a non-zero vector. Okay, so non-zero vector v, which is equal to v1i plus v2j plus v3k. Okay, this is a non-zero vector, and for the cosine of alpha is equal to v1 divided by mod of a vector v. Cosine of beta is equal to v2 divided by mod of a vector v, and cosine of gamma is equal to v3 divided by mod of a vector v. Okay, this alpha, beta and gamma are the angles. Okay, are the angles which we define from the vector. This is for the beta, this is for the alpha, and this is for the gamma. Okay, so this is the formula from where you can find the direction cosines. For example, if I give you one example, that you have to find the direction cosines of any vector, so it is very easy to calculate that. Okay, so the question is that find the direction cosines of the vector. For example, the vector v is given, which is equal to 2i minus 4j plus 4k. This vector is given and we have to find the direction cosines. How we can find the direction cosines? We have a formula. Okay, so for the alpha we use this formula. Cosine of alpha is v1 divided by mod of v. Okay, we have for the beta, cosine of beta is equal to v2 divided by mod of a vector v. Similarly, we have cosine of gamma, which is equal to v3 divided by mod of v. Okay, v is given. In this v, v1 is equal to 2, v2 is equal to minus 4, v3 is equal to what? 4. Do you know how to find the mod of a vector v? Anybody can tell me? You have to take the exactly right. Yes, 2 square plus minus 4 whole square plus 4 square. If you simplify, you will get 4 plus 16 plus 16, which is equal to square root of 36, which is equal to 6. Okay, now I will substitute this value and this value in these values. Okay, so v1 is equal to what? 2 divided by 6, which is equal to 1 divided by 3. Okay, similarly you can find cosine of beta, which is equal to minus 4 divided by 6, which is equal to minus 2 divided by 3. This is equal to 4 divided by 6, which is equal to 2 divided by 3. Now we need the direction cosines, we need the angle. Okay, so you have to calculate the angle. So cosine of alpha is equal to 1 divided by 3. You can write here alpha is equal to cosine inverse of 1 divided by 3. Anybody have a calculator? You can calculate that 1 divided by 3 cosine 70. Okay, so alpha is equal to 70 degree. Okay, similarly you can find cosine of beta, which is equal to minus 2 over 3, 70.5. Okay, I write 70.5. Okay, so 70.5. So cosine of this one beta is equal to cosine inverse of minus 2 over 3. Calculate this one. Minus 2 over 3. 131.8. So 131.8 you can write. Similarly, you can find cosine of gamma, which is equal to 2 divided by 3, implies gamma is equal to cosine inverse of 2 divided by 3. Cosine inverse of 2 divided by 3. 48.2. So these are the angles. So this is how you can find the direction cosines. Okay, so if for direction cosines, this formula is very important. Okay, if you know these formulas, you can easily find from the calculator. You can find nothing, no calculation it's needed. Okay, so is this clear? Okay, good. Now come towards the next topic, which is about the decomposing vectors into orthogonal components. Okay, so decompose the vector into the orthogonal components. What is the mean of this one? That you have to change a vector into the orthogonal component. What is orthogonal component? That any vector which have the 90-degree between the vector is called the orthogonal. Okay, for example, I say this is a vector 1, this is a vector 2. You can say this is vector 1 with vector 2. They have the angle 90-degree, so you can say they are the orthogonal to each other. Okay, so for example, suppose that E1 is a one vector, E2 is the second vector, are two orthogonal unit vectors in two space. Okay, we are talking about two spaces. Orthogonal unit vectors means what? That they have the 90-degree and their magnitude is equal to 1. Unit vector means its magnitude is equal to 1, and orthogonal means they have the 90-degree. Okay, and suppose that we want to express a given vector v as a sum of vector, as a sum of two vectors components, two vector components. For example, you can write a vector v which is equal to w1 vector plus w2 vector. Okay, so w1 and w2 are the vectors. Okay, so you can write, so w1 is a scalar multiple of e1 and w2 is a scalar multiple of e2. Okay, e1 vector and e2 vector. What is mean by this one? That vector v is equal to v vector dot e1 vector into e1 vector plus v vector plus e2 vector into e2 vector. Okay, dot product of two vectors give you scalar. Okay, so that's why I said that w1 is the scalar multiple of e1. This is a scalar multiply with e1, and this is also dot. Okay, dot product of two vectors also give you scalar. Okay, so dot with the e2. So this is w1 and this is w2. Okay, whenever in the question I ask you to find the scalar and vector components, you have to use this formula. Okay, in this case, v dot e1, v vector dot e1 is the scalar component, is the scalar component. Similarly, v dot e2 is the scalar component. Okay, for scalar component you have to use this one. For vector component, v dot e1 into e1 is the vector component, is the vector component, and v dot e2 into e2 is the vector component. Okay. So if in the question is given that you have to find the scalar component and the vector components, you have to use this formula. This formula for the scalar component and this formula for the vector components. Okay. Now I will give you one example, then it will be clear that what I mean, how you can find from these formulas. Okay. This is the example that let v vector is equal to 2 and 3. Okay, vector v is given 2 and 3. E1 vector is equal to 1 divided by square root of 2, 1 divided by square root of 2. Okay, and E2 vector is given, which is equal to minus 1 divided by square root of 2 and 1 divided by square root of 2. Okay, find, you have to find the scalar and vector component of V along E1 and E2. Okay, you have to find the scalar component and the vector components. Okay, okay. Solution for vector component, for the scalar component. First, discuss the scalar component. Okay, the scalar components of V along E1 and E2 are like this one. That vector V dot E1. Okay, vector v is what, 2 and 3. You have to take the dot product with the e is what, 1 divided by square root of 2 and 1 divided by square root of 2. Okay, so how you can make the dot product? Anybody know? That the first component multiply with the first component, that is 2 divided by square root of 2, plus the second component multiply with the second component, that is 3 divided by square root of 2, which is equal to what? 2 plus 3, 5 divided by square root of 2. Okay, so this is the scalar component for E1. For E2, similarly, you can find V dot E2, which is equal to what? V is 2 and 3, and E2 is minus 1 divided by square root of 2, 1 divided by square root of 2, which is equal to what? Minus 2 divided by square root of 2 plus 3 divided by square root of 2, which is equal to 1 divided by square root of 2. This is the scalar component for the E2. Okay. Now you have to find the vector components. So for the vector components, we have the formula. Vector components, we have the formula, which is V dot E1 dot E1. Okay, so use this formula. We already find V dot E1, which is 5 divided by square root of 2 dot E1. E1 is what? 1 divided by square root of 2 into 1 divided by square root of 2. If you multiply, you will get 5 divided by square root of 2, square root of 2, 5 divided by square root of 2, square root of 2, which is equal to what? 5 divided by 2 and 5 divided by 2. Okay, so this is the first vector component. Similarly, you can find the second one, e2 dot e2, which is equal to what? 1 divided by square root of 2 into minus 1 divided by square root of 2, 1 divided by square root of 2. If you multiply, you will get what? Minus 1 divided by square root of 2 into square root of 2, and 1 divided by square root of 2 into square root of 2, which is equal to minus 1 divided by 2 and 1 divided by 2. And this is the second vector component. Okay, so basically you have to use for the scalar component v dot e1 and v dot e2, you have to use this formula. Okay, for the vector component you have to use v dot e1 into e1 and v dot e2 into e2. Okay, so you, these formulas you have to remember for finding the vector components and scalar components. Is this clear? Okay, any question about this one? Any question? Anybody have any question? No? Okay. So this is how you can find the vector and scalar components. The next topic is orthogonal projections. Orthogonal projections. Okay. What is orthogonal projection? You can define the vector component. The vector component of V along E1 and E2 are also called orthogonal projection. Orthogonal projections of V on E1 and E2 denoted by, you can also write the orthogonal projection like this one. Okay, projection PROJ. Okay, E1 along a vector V, which is equal to V vector dot E1 into E1. Okay, this is exactly same formula for finding the vector component. Okay, vector component and projection have the same meaning. So similarly, you can write for the projection of E2 for a vector V, that is V vector dot E2 vector into E2. Okay, so in general, you can write, if you have any E, okay, is a unit vector, is a unit vector, then how you can define the projection? Then we define the orthogonal projection of V on E, like this one. Projection of E on V is equal to V dot E into E. Okay, so you have to use these formulas for finding the projection. Either I ask you to find the projection, or either I ask you to find the vector component, you have to use the same formula. Okay, that they have the same meaning. Vector component and the projection have the same meaning. Okay, don't confuse with the vector component and the orthogonal projection. They have the exactly same meaning. Okay, so now I will give you one example. From that, I think it will be very clear that how you can find the uh, orthogonal projections. Just give me 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Huh? Did I upload lecture notes for chapter 11 for you? I think no, I upload now because I think that will be helpful for you. Chapter 11. Okay, now I will give you one example for this projection. That find the orthogonal projection, find the orthogonal projection of vector V, which is equal to I plus J plus K on the vector B, which is equal to 2I plus 2J. Okay, we have to find the orthogonal projection. But we know the formula. The formula is that projection of E for a vector V is equal to vector V dot E into E. This is the formula. And E is the unit vector. Okay. E is the unit vector. Okay. But now here we have given only a vector. Can we find a unit vector from a vector? Can we find a unit vector from a vector? Unit vector. This is E is a unit vector. How you can define? A vector divided by its magnitude will give me the unit vector. Okay. So what is the magnitude of B? Magnitude of B is what? 2 square plus 2 square is equal to what? 4 plus 4 is equal to square root of 8. Okay. So E vector, which is a unit vector, is equal to what? 2I plus 2j divided by square root of 8 is equal to what? 2 divided by square root of 8I plus 2 divided by square root of 8j. Okay. Now use this formula, this one, for the projection. That projection of E vector along vector V, V vector dot E vector into E vector. Okay. Which is equal to what? What is V vector? V vector is I plus J plus K. Okay. You have to do the dot product with the I vector, that is 2 divided by square root of 8I plus 2 divided by square root of 8J. Okay. And whole multiply with the E vector, which is 2 divided by square root of 8I plus 2 divided by square root of 8J. Okay. So how you can make the dot product? First component with the first component, second with the second component, second component with the second component. Okay. I dot I is 1. So 1 multiplied by that one is 1 and 2 divided by square root of 8 plus 2 divided by square root of 8. This is 1 and this is 0. There is no k, so no need to write. Okay. Into 2 divided by square root of 8I plus 2 divided by square root of 8J. Okay. So simplify it, you will get what? 4 divided by square root of 8 into 2 divided by square root of 8I plus 2 divided by square root of 8J. So if I multiply 2, that becomes 8 square root of 8 square root of 8I plus 8 divided by square root of 8 square root of 8J. Okay. So if you simplify more, you can get 8 divided by 8I plus 8 divided by 8J. So you can also write that is equal to I plus J. So what is the projection? Projection of E vector along a vector V is equal to I plus J. So this is the answer. Okay. So if in the question it's not given a unit vector, so you have to find a unit vector. If it is given a unit vector, then you have to directly apply this formula. No need to find the unit vector. So for before that, you need a unit vector, which is E. Then you have to apply the dot product and you will get the answer. Okay. So this is the formula for finding the projection, or you can say for finding the vector components. For finding the vector components. They have the same meaning. Okay. So any question about this one, you can ask me. If no k in E, we don't need to write it. Yeah, exactly. No need to write it. Because see, this is k. I will change the color. This is k. Okay, and this there is nothing here. So nothing multiplies zero, so no need to write. Only two components. Okay, so you can make the dot product of two different vectors. For example, here one vector is 2, 3, and 4, and you want to make the dot product with 2 and 5 only. Okay, first component with the first component, second with the second one, and third you can consider that is equal to 0. So what will be that? 2 multiplied by 2 plus 3 multiplied by 5 plus 4 multiplied by 0 you have to consider. Okay, so that will give you 4 plus 15 into 0, that is 19. So 19 is the dot product of these two vectors. Okay. Okay, so this is how you can find the